Hey y'all, out here at Alloway's Hot Rod Shop, and going to do a couple updates today. And one of them I'm going to do is update the 69 Corvette. It's got, Toby's got quite a bit of the body work done. Now he's just trying to get everything smooth, so it's probably a good time to update it. And anyways, let's get with Toby and see how the thing's going. Toby, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you, Scotty?
Not too bad, man. You're making some progress, eh?
Yeah, we're starting to make a little bit of progress. Starting into the stages of doing the body work and the fitment of the gaps and the doors and the hood and pieces. Just getting ready to paint now.
I got you. Now, when you work with fiberglass, do you use regular body filler, or is there a particular type that you have to use?
We use the same body fillers that we'd use on a steel car or any of the others like these frames. All your body fillers are the same. You may use in some places like here on this hatch where the original fiberglass had a real hairy texture to it. We use some stuff called Zee Glass, which is specifically designed for repairing fiberglass. It's got zinc and Kevlar in it, which makes it a little tougher than your normal body filler. But this here is what you use to fix where you have cracks that are just surface cracks or something that's not all the way through that you wouldn't repair with fiberglass. This is what you use to repair it with.
But you only use that in certain spots, or do you use it everywhere?
We just use it. You don't want to use it gets so hard and it's so hard to sand,
right,
that you don't want to. It's really too much to use all over the whole car. We'll use it in body seams like you see here where the two panels were glued together.
Right.
We'll use it there. We'll use it, when we're doing the gaps on the doors, on edges and stuff like that. A lot of times we'll use it on that because it is a lot stronger, harder type body filler. But when you get out here going down the sides of the cars on the tops, we use a regular 3M body filler like we would on anything else.
Cool. And now these gaps, how do you do that? I mean, first of all, what kind of gap are you shooting for?
Well, generally, we use a paint paddle with a piece of tape around it. That is our gauge. It's kind of a homemade gauge for the gaps. But we'll start here, like on this door here. I've made the gaps to where they're completely tight, to where we have to come in and actually either sand or cut the gap to our desired thickness. Right. You get it pretty close, and then you come back and with the paint paddles with the tape on it, you'll stick them down in there, and any other places that it's uneven or not straight, that paint paddle, it being wood, kind of holds a good spline or a surface to wipe to. So any place that it may be a little wider or not wide enough, that paint paddle will show us, and then we'll come in with that Zee Glass, the green body filler, and fill in any of the places that it's too wide. And then when you pull that paint paddle out, you got a perfect gap.
Cool. So you will go and you'll have to doctor up all the gaps on the thing.
Yes, and that's the process we have to do on any car that we build.
Even metal ones?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Is it easier to do it on fiberglass than metal, or is it 6 one way, half a dozen?
It's not. Well, it's a little more time consuming on a fiberglass car versus a steel car. Where if the gap was too wide on a steel car, you can always weld a piece of metal in there to close up the gap.
Right.
Where on a fiberglass car, I usually have to come in there and feather the piece down, put fiberglass in there, and then it's the next day before you can do anything. Versus a steel car, within 30 minutes, you can weld a piece up there and still continue working.
Keep working, right. So it's more time consuming.
Yes.
But no more hard work.
No.
It's just more time consuming.
Yes.
And what are these holes here that you've filled?
This right here, those were line-up holes that we used to hold the quarter panel in place until we got it glued. These cars, a lot of times you have to pull and tug in different areas to get it to line up the way you need it to line up. And what we was wanting was this quarter panel to fit the edge of this door as good as it possibly could. So we drilled just a few little line-up holes to stick it in there and hold it in place until the glue dried, and you know, we removed our pins and everything once the glue was dried.
Oh, well, cool. And then you got this all ready to go in here.
Yeah, we're pretty much done on the inside of the car for right now. We'll come in later and start, you know, figuring out how we're going to put the dash in there and everything, which we'll use as much of the original dash as we can, with the transmission tunnel being raised up as high as it is. Of course, we'll lose a little bit of it, but we're still going to try to keep it to where it looks like a stock interior.
That's kind of Bobby's thing. He likes to keep things hot rodded but stock looking.
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, that's a nice job you did on these inner fenders too.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked, I was just, I hadn't fiberglassed these yet. We had just started on it. Those are the actual fiberglass pieces. Once we get the outside of the car done and get it on a rotisserie, we'll come in and with a little body filler and slick those up to where they look, you know, like a fresh, you know, piece.
Right. And those gaps, that's about where you want them on something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to allow room for paint and primers and clear coats.
Right.
So that way, because those gaps, they start out that wide now, and they'll be about half that wide by the time it's painted.
I got you. And then you got to probably leave some room for shake and flex and things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. And you say we haven't decided what we're going to do on this hood yet?
Not yet. So we're doing what work we can. The car, with it needing to be done in May, you know, it might come down to, you know, just not having enough time to do it.
Right.
The car looks good with that hood on it.
Sure.
And the customer's happy with the way that hood looks. A lot of us here in the shop would like to see the other hood. It is a little more attractive hood on the cars, gets your attention a little more, but I think a lot of it's going to come down to if we have enough time to do that to the car.
Right. And as we were talking, that's obviously something, if you wanted to, you could come back and make the hood later.
Oh yeah, you could always come back in, you know, a year from now and put a different hood on it, and it'd be almost like a different car.
Right. Yeah. Change it. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then these headlight panels, they're metal.
Yes, they're actually a pot metal. It's a casted piece. It's the only metal part of the body.
Right. I just took for granted they're fiberglass because everything else was fiberglass.
Yeah.
But that's how they came. You got the gaps right on this window, or on this one.
They're getting close.
Yeah.
They need a little bit of detail work to them, but you know, we're just trying to get it roughed in right now and get everything, you know, fitted good to where we can put a little bit of primer on it and see how it looks with, you know, all one color.
Right. Now, will you use vacuum motors or will you use electric motors on those?
These motors have been changed over to electric.
Cool.
So
they'll work.
They work, but it's there's a little more stress involved as far as, you know, getting them adjusted properly.
Right.
I spent probably close to 3 days on these headlights, just the headlights.
No kidding.
Getting them adjusted and you know, shimmed properly to where the headlight will open up to its fullest extent and then close back to, you know, where it needed to be.
Wow, cool. And then will you use like stock headlights, or you upgrade them to HDI or something?
Oh
like
no,
that?
we'll put the stock light headlights back in it. You know, a little better bulb, but
Right.
you know, it'll still be a, you know, a stock placement.
Right. And then that's the work you've done on the firewall. That's about
just
done.
that's the raw fiberglass. I've pulled all of everything that I used to mock it up with. Once we take the car off the frame and put it on the rotisserie and the motor's not in it, we'll get in there and slick all that up, and that'll be nice and smooth and pretty all the way across through there.
Cool. And then nothing's going to go in here. Or you put windshield
No,
wipers back in?
you still have your windshield wipers in there, and that's probably about all you'll see in that area right there.
Will there be a cover for that, or is the hood cover that? I don't remember. The hood covers that, doesn't it?
The hood covers it, and we may or may not make a panel that will cover that just empty void in the thing. And there may be some other pieces that may end up having to be mounted in that area.
I got you. Cool. Well, you're making real progress on it. I'll be honest with you. I know how long these things take. And so when we were talking about May the other day, I was like, well, that's a lot to do. But when I checked back in with you, I was like, holy smokes, because the hard body work's done.
Yes.
Yeah, now I mean you've done all the fabricating the fiberglass. Now it's just getting it smooth and getting it ready for paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just fine tuning the body, getting it slick. You know, get all the highs and lows out of it. With it being new fiberglass panels, there's not that much to be. You know, it's going pretty quick.
Right.
So far, I'll probably have this side pretty close to being ready for primer by tomorrow evening, and I've spent maybe a week on it. So the car's going pretty quick. There'll be some areas that'll slow down and won't go as quick.
Right.
But for the most part, the car's going pretty good.
When how long do you think before you'll have it in paint?
Oh, I would say it'll probably be another couple of months before we're ready for paint.
Okay.
It may be, you know, towards the end of February, 1st of March before we have it ready to paint.
So even though it looks as long as it's going, as well as it's going, there's still a lot of work to be done.
Oh yeah, once we get done with this part of it, we still have to take it off the frame, flip it over, and do the bottom side.
Oh, you haven't even touched that yet.
Yeah, so
okay.
there'll be just as much time and work involved in slicking the bottom side of the car as they would be the top side.
Cool, man. And then are you going with stock mirrors on it, or how's that going to work?
Not sure yet.
I mean, I see you left the holes, and sometimes they don't even mount mirrors on them. So.
Yeah, we'll probably put the mirrors back on it just to, you know, keep it, you know, original looking.
Right.
And it makes it easier for the customer to drive.
Oh yeah. It makes it more functional.
You know, it's not to say that between now and the time it's ready to paint, those holes won't be fiberglassed up and there won't be no mirrors on it.
Right.
Right now, I haven't been told, you know, anything different, so I'm just going with that for right now.
You do what you're told.
Yes.
I got you. Well, brother, it looks like you're doing a heck of a job on it, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you letting me come out here and take you away from your work for a few minutes. Tell me about this.
Oh, that's no problem, Scott. I appreciate you coming by.
All right.
In about another month or so, we ought to be a little bit farther on down the road.
We'll check on it. Toby, thanks so much, brother.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. Folks, there you go. That's 69 Corvette Alloway's hot rod shop is building. It's going to be way cool. I mean, everything they turn out is cool, but I think this one's going to be, you know, one of the top 10 that we got going right now. So anyways, hope you all have enjoyed it. See you soon. Later.